we're going to talk a little bit about writing a speech. Writing a speech can be easy, it can be difficult, it depends on what you're putting together, how much time you're going to put into it. There are three basic components to the speech, just like we learned in school when you're writing any kind of paper, right? You have your beginning, the introduction, the body, and then the conclusion. The introduction, you really have to grab their attention. Do something different than, "Hi, I'm Paul Rugarber, I'm going to be speaking to you about public speaking tonight." It's kind of boring, right? I started with a story. I like stories because people get interested as to, okay, where's it going, what's going on, what's going to happen, so they tend to pay attention when you're telling a story. Some people like to use quotes. You can use a quote from someone about something, but people listen to quotes. It kind of gives that person a little expert value, right? So if you want to use a quote to begin, you want to use a story to begin, but do something that grabs their attention in the introduction. And then your introduction, you're going to tell them about what's going to happen during the speech, what's going to happen during your talk, what to expect. Like anyone ever go into a movie that you have no idea what the movie is? Someone says, "Oh, come on, let's go see this." And you're sitting watching, and it's difficult to focus if you don't have any idea where it's going. You don't know if it's an action, if it's a drama, what's going to be happening. Is this the good guy, the bad guy? So if you give people something in the introduction about what you're going to be saying, that's good. The body of it. The body of it, I like to break it out into three basic components. 3 is a good, easy number, and if you have kind of subsets of that, work it into the 3 if you can. But break your body out in a logical sequence into what it is that you're going to be talking to them about. The conclusion should be something that grabs their interest. Something that recaps a little bit about what you said, but something that really gets the interest of the people in there to tell them about what you said. Those are the 3 basic components of it. Now, I know when I prepare a speech, what I tend to do is weeks before, days before, whatever it is, I tend to just write notes down on a piece of paper. I write in, oh yeah, this idea came to me, I write it down, I put it aside. I write other stuff down, I put it aside. And then I just start to take all these notes, some of them may be the same thought that I had that I put down, and I type it all out. And then from there, once it's typed out, I can look at it and kind of add things, delete things, but at least it's a way to organize my thoughts. Because sometimes you get a thought, and you say, oh yeah, I'm going to remember to write that down later, but we never actually write it down later, it goes away. So grab a scrap of paper, say something into your phone, write it into your phone as a note, do something, but just keep writing all your notes, compiling them together, any kind of interesting things that you want to say, any kind of stories that you read, quotes that you want to put together, and then you can edit it from there. If you know you're going to be speaking, or even if you're just doing sales, one-on-one with people, if you have stories that you think of or that you use or that you've read, write those down. Because when you start to get a library of stories that you like, whether it's something you found in a book or something that happened in your real life, you can use those in your presentations. Even if it's just a sales presentation for doing something, talk about how this affected another client in a similar situation. You have these stories in mind that you can use for that presentation. You can use them from all different walks of life, and you can adapt them to whatever it is that you need. But stories are a good thing to be able to take in and be able to put into it. So keep a library of what the different stories are. Jokes, if you like to be funny and tell jokes, keep a library when you hear jokes. Put them all together into a folder, and then you can pull from them. The same thing with quotes. I like quotes, and you can use quotes the same way. Put them together into a file, and when you have something coming up, you know you can, oh, let me grab this one, or I remember this one, let me put that in, or let me look this guy up, because I know, Google's a great thing. You can type in almost anything, it'll tell you who said it at some point. But keep your quotes together, and then you can put those into your stories, your presentations as you're going. And it helps to develop a more dynamic speech and more dynamic story when you have all the different information, all the different quotes and stories put in there. Your structure, your material, your delivery are the main components to the speech. Right? Your structure, your material, and your delivery. So you got to lay out the structure of how you're going to tell the speech. Think about your material of all the different pieces that you want to put into it, and then your delivery. Think about what it is that you're going to say, as well as how you're going to act. Sometimes if you're telling a story from beginning to end, you want to start a story on this side of the room and kind of finish it up as you move over to here. But think about the progression of it and what you want to do, maybe the hand gestures you want to use while you're speaking. Think about your delivery of how your voice should be, how your gestures should be, how your movements should be, to make it all come together as a cohesive thing.